Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Sutra-40. Who am I? Yasya kasyapi varnasya purvantau anubhavayet shunyaya shunyabhutosau shunyakaraha puman bhavet. Inquire into the matras of the Omkara and ultimately enter the silence. Realize your true nature as this very silence. In the previous sutra, we said that it will benefit the disciple if sutras 37, 38, 39 and 40 are studied and assimilated together. Sutra 39 was about Omkara Upasana. Bhairava in Vijñāna-Bhairava-Tantra is the absolute reality, the Brahman. Brahman is addressed by Om. Om is pratikam alambanam. Om is shabdarupa alambanam. For the sadhaka to attain chitta shuddhi, Omkara is available as pratikam alambanam for upasana or meditation. Omkara upasana gives the sadhaka chitta shuddhi, the purity of mind. A sadhaka who has attained chitta shuddhi is ready to inquire into the nature of Omkara to realize the absolute. The Upanishad says, Soyamatma Dhyaksharam Omkaram Madimatram Padamatra Matrasya Pada Akara Ukaro Makara iti. There are 4 parts to Omkara: Akara, Ukara, Makara, which is A, U and followed by a silence. The silence is known as amatra. A, U and are known as matra. This is as per the Shastram. The 4 parts of Omkara are called quarters. Each quarter is a matra. The silence is amatra. The first 3 quarters of the matras, A, U and in Omkara, represent the 3 states of consciousness that all of us experience. A is the waking state or the Jagrat Avastha, U is the dream state or Swapna Avastha, and is the sleep state or Sushupti Avastha. In Jagrat Avastha, we experience the world using our mind and senses. Our mind and senses are active in this state. The awareness is directed outside, based on which the physical body and the world are experienced. This is cognition that I am the body, I am the mind, I am the doer, I am the experiencer, and I am the enjoyer of the experience. In the dream state or Swapna Avastha, the sense organs do not function. There is no cognition of I or mine with respect to the physical body. The awareness is no longer in the outside world, but in the inside world. Only the mind remains active. The mind projects the dream based on the impressions it already has. The impressions are based on the experience in the waking state. In deep sleep state or Sushupti, the mind is not available and neither the senses. The entire Antakaranam is dissolved. The first 3 quarters of the matras, A, U and in Omkara, represent the 3 states of consciousness, which are Jagrat Avastha, Swapna Avastha and Sushupti Avastha. The 4th quarter, the amatra, the silence, represents Turiyam. How do we explain Turiyam? The moment you start explaining silence, the silence will vanish. In Sutra 38, we discussed the nature of silence. In the beginning, I had said that Sutras 37, 38, 39 and 40 must be studied and assimilated together. In Sutra 38, we discussed the nature of silence, the soundless sound. Silence is not emptiness or nothingness. When the mind is free of vikalpa or thoughts, it remains empty. Just visualize a thoughtless mind, an empty mind without any thoughts. How do we know that the mind is empty? Because we are aware that it is empty. Without this awareness, I will not know it is empty. The awareness is always present. The mind that is free of thoughts reflects this awareness. Hence, we don't call the mind as empty, but that which reflects this awareness. This is reflected consciousness. Turiyam is this awareness. This is the awareness that reveals the emptiness, the silence in the Omkara. When you chant Omkara, understand that the fourth quarter is silence. This silence has two parts. The first is the silence itself. The second is that which reveals the silence. That which reveals the silence is awareness. Without the awareness, we will never know there is silence. That which reveals the silence, the awareness, is Turiyam. The mind should dwell on the Turiyam and not the silence itself. The silence is not Turiyam, the awareness is. This is the meditation in the Sutra. The sadhaka is established in awareness. The sadhaka claims that I am Turiyam. I am the Turiya Atma. Is Turiyam present only in the fourth quarter of Omkara? No. It is present in all the quarters. We are dividing Omkara into four parts only for the sake of understanding. Omkara is one and cannot be divided into quarters or parts. Dividing is only for understanding. The first three quarters of Omkara represents the avasthas, followed by silence. Turiyam is present in all the avasthas. How do I know the Jagrata avastha? Because I am aware. How do I know the Swapna avastha? Because I am aware. How do I know the Sushupti avastha? Because I am aware that I slept well. The awareness is always present. It does not come and go. Whereas the avasthas, Jagrat, Swapna and Sushupti come and go. What comes and goes cannot be the reality. The awareness is the reality. This is Turiyam. This Turiyam alone is true. All the avasthas rise from Turiyam and get resolved in Turiyam. Makara resolves into Ukara, Ukara resolves into Akara, and Akara resolves into the silence. From silence alone, they all arise. The sadhaka is aware of this silence. This awareness is Turiyam. The sadhaka meditates on the Turiyam and claims that I am Turiya Atma. Turiyam is self-evident. It alone shines. Everything else shines after it. Na tatra suryo bhati na chandra tarakam nemo vidyatho bhanti kruto yamagnihi tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. Nothing in the creation shines by itself. They shine in the presence of awareness. This awareness is Turiyam. At the individual level, we experience Jagrat, Swapna and Sushupti avasthas. The individual experiencer is known as Vishwaha in the waking state, Taijasaha in the dream state and Prajna in the sleep state. In the sleep state, there is no experience and the individual is known as Prajna. At the cosmic level, it is known as Virata, Hiranyagarbha and Antaryami. Virata, Hiranyagarbha and Antaryami is the cosmic body of Īśvara. Īśvara has lent a small portion of his body to the individual. The individual is known as Vishwaha, which is the aspect of Virata, Taijasaha, which is the aspect of Hiranyagarbha, and Prajna, which is the aspect of Antaryami. Ultimately, they all merge back into Īśvara. Vishwaha resolves into Virat, Taijasaha resolves into Hiranyagarbha, and Prajna into Antaryami. This is Jiva Īśvara Aikyam. In his Mandukya Karika, Gaudapada Acharya says that a sadhaka should practice Omkara Upasana. Brahman is known by Omkara. Akara, Ukara and Makara represent Saguna Brahman, and the silence represents Nirguna Brahman. It is not my intention to discuss the padas or quarters of Omkara elaborately. I wanted to mention this in the context of this sutra. It is also that we should have clarity on the silence that the sutra is pointing us to. The end goal of the sadhaka is to claim that I am the Turiya Atma. Yasya kasyapi varnasya purvantau anubhavayet shunyaya shunyabhutosau shunyakaraha puman bhavet. Inquire into the matras of the Omkara and ultimately enter the silence. Realize your true nature as this very silence. Varnasya means the matras, the four quarters of Omkara. Puman, the person who contemplates on the matras and dwells on the silence. Understand this as dwelling on the Turiyam. The sadhaka is aware of the silence and the awareness is Turiyam. The silence itself is not Turiyam. Yasya kasya anubhavayet shunyaya. From the beginning to the end, which means beginning with A followed by U, Im and silence. Purva Antau. The person is established in silence. This means that the sadhaka claims that I am the Turiya Atma. Puman Shunya Akaraha Bhavet. The sadhaka realizes his or her nature as Turiya Atma.